Y'all show some love for Big U. Come on.
Big U.
Well, hey, that's cold to follow that.
Big U.
Mike. Yo, it's kind of hard to follow that. I mean, but look, let me say first, I'm inspired being here. I'd like to thank y'all for having me here. I mean, y'all really gave me a whole nother fire, really, to get back to work, to doing what I was doing.
All right.
I mean, no, I just really, I do this work. I do it so long. I've been doing it for a long time. And to really kind of watch how y'all doing it from the beginning, because it takes me back to when I really had made a decision to get out of life. Everybody knew my story pretty much, but I never knew how it changed. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of my story. I'm just like all the rest of y'all. My mother raised me. She decided to live with my father when they was going through. I was born 6 months after she left Chicago and got here, came to California. She was going through some stuff. My father was going through some stuff. That led us to be born in fire. I'm born in California. They was beefing. He tried to kidnap me. She tried to send him to jail and all that stuff. So I grew up not knowing my father, and that made me one kind of way. Then I grew up seeing somebody put hands on my mother. That made me another kind of way. And so I think what happens is we go through things, trauma, as young kids, and it make us in the heart of men. And I'm gonna get to that later on, and why I say that. Because it was the trauma I went through and then not being dealt with that made me and a lot of other people become animals in the streets. And it's untapped, it's undealt with trauma that leads us to become animals. And then when you're around other people that say this is the way to do it, you follow that trend. So moving right along, born in LA, born and raised in the 60s. Moved from the Hoovers to the 60s. And then when the gang started, I'm the first generation of that. So when Nipsey said the Tiny Locs run the hood where they from, we the first generation of Tiny Locs. They weren't talking about the babies, but anyway. So we watched it start. Crippin was, I was a baby when it started, and we watched it grow. Tookie grew up in my part, so we seen Tookie more. And we watched it grow, and we watched it spread around the world. But what I want to say is this. We don't have to be the negative connotation on what they make us.
Yes, sir.
We don't have to be that. And in reality, I like to say that it's more men who are doing things that men do that's being unrecognized. When the media portrays us, they portray the negative things that we did and our babies are doing. Because there's more men like myself that's in LA that's really doing this work.
Amen.
And the work that I claim cannot be done just by me. I claim it because we're doing it together. And they can go claim it on stages also. But what y'all doing is phenomenal. It's on a whole nother level because y'all doing it and y'all not getting the financial assistance that we get. And it's dudes that's doing the work that y'all doing that's getting paid every day to do it. That the government is paying to go out, and that's their job, to make sure rumors don't get started, pulling up at dudes' houses when they get shot, and y'all really doing it.
Put us on, OG.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that shit out for real because it got to be done. And I want to say this too. Bro got court at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The judge has to be influenced by the community.
Amen.
If this is the community, they're trying to save him or save people from inflicting pain on the community. If the community shows up in court with him tomorrow, with everybody there, you're not saving him. He's a part of the community. And they need to see that change.
Amen.
Because they got all the information. And it only takes 15, 20 people to pull up. And if you at court with him tomorrow, the judge gonna see that. And that's how that starts to stop. But let me say, so my change kind of goes a lot of different ways. I was in it. I got out in March 1987. I beat a lot of cases. That I got popped in '85. I was on the run. I beat a lot of cases. Little situation with the police. Me and them was going at it, and so I ended up getting caught. They tried to kill me, and I ended up getting lucky. 97 shots they fired in the one car. Nobody got hit, and you know what I'm saying. I ended up going to doing. I think I did 3 years that time, and I came home in '87. From '87 I left because I couldn't really make it in LA, and I go to Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota, Chicago, I'm grinding. I catch a book, Malcolm X autobiography.
Amen.
From reading Malcolm X autobiography, I'm taking 5 birds to my real father in Chicago from Minnesota, and then I get there, I cut my hair off after reading the book. And I said right then, I'm through hustling. I didn't want to sell cocaine no more, but I didn't know what else to do. I ain't did nothing else but sell cocaine. So I had already amassed almost $30,000 a month in bills. So from there, I'm like, damn, I don't want to hustle no more, but what do I do? I went back, I was 21. So I went back to the gun. I figured out, well then, I ain't gonna sell dope to my people no more. Let me just rob the people that's selling dope. And then,
Well,
I'm 21.
it's real.
So that logic was a little flawed. But anyway, it was a lot flawed. But, so that's what I started doing. And we set a crew up and we was getting the bag. One of my partners set me up to do a lick. We ended up doing a lick. I get caught. I get sentenced to 56 years.
Damn.
Now here goes the story. While they are sentencing me, I catch a stabbing on police in the county jail. Because, they just didn't understand. So, I'm getting, because that's where my education came from. So I paid $50,000 to fight this other case that I shouldn't have never got the time on. I get found guilty. But it was only because they really just weren't gonna let me go, period. There was nowhere in the world they was gonna allow me to walk back out. They had a chance to get me. I'm sentenced, but then I catch the case on the staff. And I retired 2 of them, 3 of them still work. And but that was, I fought that. So that's when I learned the law. But my peace of mind came when I was at my lowest point. Because I was in their court system and they were talking to me and talking about me in a language that I was supposed to know. And they was in the courtroom speaking English and I didn't have a clue on what they were saying. And when it was all done, I had 56 years and was on my way to prison. I catch the case and I ended up going pro per because they was giving us $1,500 to be pro per, and you get you an extra visit because you can have your wife be your investigator and all that stuff. So while I was sitting in there, I learned how to read. And then I learned how to read the law. Then I got an understanding of the law. I adopted the Black Law Dictionary. And I found out everything they had did to me in my first case was all illegal. Starting from my arrest was illegal. So then I had to fight that. But I learned the law at that point, and that also changed me. So now on my way to prison, I beat the stabbing case. And I go to prison. Now in prison, I said to myself, I wanted to change black men. But I was still Big U. So no matter where I went, and he'll tell you he was in prison with me, I'm like, shit, I got to hustle. Because I was grinding. I don't know nothing else but to hustle. Coming from where I came from.
Amen.
So the whole time I was gone, I was grinding. I was getting it, because I didn't want my wife and my kids to have to ask nobody for nothing. But then while in prison, it gets to the psychosis, we started teaching classes about psychosis and about healing ourselves. In doing that, we taught a psychology class. And we found that most of the men who were there, no matter race, had something traumatic happen to them in the early years that still affected them as they got older. Because we as men, we don't deal with that. We skip right over that and we move on to our life because we got to put this drama on, we got to stay strong. And it affects how we deal with our women. So I used to teach, when I was in the yard, I used to tell brothers when they hit the yard, stop watching daytime TV. Don't do it. You ain't gonna make it out of here mentally well, and you're not gonna have a relationship. So what I would tell dudes all the time, stop watching MOI programs, stop watching all this other shit, and get to work. Them hours right there, you should be working out. So we was able to change a lot of people. So then I started developing option. I ended up catching a case while in there, being a teacher, and that case left me in the SHU for 4 years. While in the SHU, I came up with an idea to do Ex-Offenders Fellowship Network. That led to become developing option. I paroled 2004. I told the brothers this. My strength while I was in prison was the fact that I was unifying men. But I didn't just do black men. I sat down with every race. And when it was a problem, I addressed that problem. I didn't let it go. And I gave away the philosophy, I'm rolling with my homeboy right and wrong. I ain't do that. I don't do that to this day. I ain't rolling with nobody right or wrong because I teach my kids to do right. So it don't make sense for me to ride with somebody and I know they wrong. That's a contradiction. Now, I'm gonna ride till I find out what's going on, and when we get to the hole, I'm gonna tear your ass up. I mean, just to be honest with you, because you costed me to be with my family. Yeah. So if you love me, you're gonna look out for me, like I'm gonna look out for you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And what we got right now, we come from a culture of men, and the dominance of our culture is the most ignorance of us. If you willing to go represent, jump in the car, holler and scream, you the hardest one. But we don't celebrate our intelligence. And that's the problem. So we teach our kids to do right or wrong, but we don't recognize that our kids are watching us. Yeah. They're watching everything that we do. And I really couldn't grasp that until I came home in 2004. So I'm gonna make a confession. So when I came home in 2004, I got at it because I was trying to figure out how to get it. But I'm doing one thing and I'm trying to do it. And so then I had to slow down because my sons was mimicking things, and then they already was waiting for Big U to come on. But Big U wasn't coming on. There was another person coming on.
Amen.
So I had to take and keep using the name Big U and not start going to use the name Eugene or Hannibal Muhammad, my given name, because I felt I could reach more people with Big U. Yeah. And I felt that the young people need to understand that it's the choices I make now versus the choices I made back then. The name don't stop it. It's how I represent a building. When I come in a building now, I don't come in a building strong trying to take over the building. I come in a building, I try to greet the building with a smile. And then I go from there. But it's a struggle for me, like y'all was asking me earlier. It's a struggle every single day.
Amen.
To be me, to do right,
every day,
and to listen to all the bull crap that go with it. You know what I mean? And it's like I could get up in the morning with the intention to go help or do something, but then I got so much negativity that's behind it, every step I make. And people make a living off of being negative. I had an older brother tell me, Draws, you're doing your job. And you're supposed to have that. Because if you can't function under the fire, you'll never be able to put out fires. Okay, that makes sense, but still I want to go, you know what I mean? But so I say, we have babies in this room, and all of us are parents. We can't not do it. It ain't no choice. Right. We don't have no choice. This has got to work. Yeah. MOI has to work. Yes, sir. Or 5-6 years from now, you're gonna be looking at your baby in a casket. It ain't even a question if it do. I get up every morning and I pray that I can make somebody put a gun down. I don't even care about what my homeboys who got a complaint or we doing this or we doing that. Nah, that shit don't mean nothing. because I'm trying to save my life and possibly your son's life. Because if you really cared about your son, this would be full. But then they need y'all to be first. Nothing great started with everybody moving at the same time. Nothing great. Nothing. When I first came home in 2004, I had a choice. Either go fortify the Crip movement, me, Snoop, and we make the city blue, or go deal with Suge and to bring unity to where there was problems. I want to be the uniting force, not the dividing force. We were successful. Then I said it's time for me to move, and I went and found Nipsey. My mission is still going.
Amen.
With Nipsey, I got the first time somebody was a Crip. I took him and said, listen, this is what we're gonna do, nephew. And we did it. He represented the neighborhood. We were respectful to everybody. I introduced him to YG because YG, well, they would have never met. Because I was dealing with game. I introduced him to game. I introduced him to Suge. Suge actually gave us our first studio time. Suge gave us, and that's a little unknown fact. Suge gave me like 2 months to record with Nip, yeah. And so we took that, and I seen that we could unify in his videos, his music, his message, that we can reach LA. It worked. And it didn't just work on a small level, it worked on a major level. And so with that, we see a lot of slowing down in LA. Then the gang and division part, like I would like to reach on that. The developing option part. We heard so much about that. I actually got into developing option because, like I said, it came on 2004. It was my brother Mustafa. He was a Swan. He had the contract in our neighborhood. Didn't make sense to me. So I went to school, key point. I went to school at East LA College for 3 years, 2.5 years, to get the grant. Came and got the grant. Started doing the work. We changed the way they was operating when I first came on. Just like little bro said, we went in and sat down with them and told them, look, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. We're not reporting nothing, we're not classifying nobody as no gang member. We are instrumental in California now doing away with the gang task force. Well, not the gang, let me say it correctly. We are instrumental with California doing away with cow gangs. And if you know what cow gangs is, that's when, if you get pulled over, they label you as a gang member. Well, it's supposed to be 3 parts to that. It's supposed to be tattoos, admitting that you're a gang member, and gang crimes. Well, they would put any and everybody down as gang members. We refuse to do that. We actually got petitions to go to shut it down. Right now in California, there's no cow gangs. Nobody's in a gang fight. Because one of the ways we fought it, and y'all can fight it out here, is you have a way to put me in the game, but there's no way to get me out. There's no exit. So they like to keep that theory that once you join a gang, there's no out. Well, once you join the police department, there's no out. No, you are. You out the Army, you out the police department, you out all of that. But they want to keep us in the most negative term possible. So I say, in doing this work, it's not gonna be easy. It ain't supposed to be easy. Man, we walk out here tomorrow and some of the homies will get into it. And you know what's gonna happen? That's gonna require everybody in this room to stand up. And I mean, you gotta stand up strong. It ain't, cause see, this ain't the weak work. People think it is. It ain't. No, it got to be the real ones that do this. It take the real ones, cause you gotta stand up in front of your homeboys. Little niggas that's gunners, and who really believe in that. You gotta be talking about somebody who ready to go. Ain't no buster can do that. I tell people that all the time. It's not no buster that can go tell somebody who cousin just got killed, man, hold up. Or his brothers that got killed. Ain't no buster finna do that. So that's a misnomer. It got to be a real one. And every single day you go out here, it's just like it's like the police say, you don't never know when you coming home.
Amen, I'm coming home.
We don't never know when we coming home, because we really doing this work. Y'all work is gonna become a lot easier, but it's gonna become more stressful. Because when you're successful, it gets bigger. It gets bigger. And to really employ the government to do it, one thing that we don't have We don't have a way to quantify our work.
Right.
Key point. We don't have a way to say, we stopped this, we stopped that. I heard somebody say, doing the police job, that we doing the police job? No, we're not. Because that's not their job. Their job is to simply arrest people for committing crimes. It's very succinct. They do not prevent crimes. What you guys do, you are crime preventers. You gotta understand that. We prevent the crimes from happening. So we don't have to go tell the police shit. That's not what our job is. We don't even have to go talk to them because we already doing our job. They don't know if the homeboy mad at his wife because he thinks she cheating. He want to go home and knock her head off. He's like, man, I don't do that. Bro, come over here and sit down and let's talk. Don't even drink no more. They don't know that. They don't know when our kids get into it at school. 2 different sides get into it at school. Now, pops is a blood, cousins a crip. They finna meet at this school. It's finna be real funky. They don't know that we did that work because it didn't happen. And this is the work. So when you do this work, you have to understand what you're doing. And we got to understand that they'll never see our numbers. They'll never see them. Only people who see the numbers is the people in here who know that we really showing up, you're really showing up, you're doing the work. That's the only way. Right now in the city of LA, because of the work we was able to do, we have a district attorney that's not prosecuting or putting people down as gang members. And that's only because they want to claim the numbers of our success. It ain't because they love us or they want to help us. It's because now they see another way to run on the ballot. So they're claiming the success of what we done. But then they put an end on our program though. So look at it like, if you stop in crime, if you got 10,000 police officers that work in this community, you're about to put 5,000 police officers out of work.
Yes.
You understand? So if you putting these people out of work, that's not what they want.
Right.
That's not what they want. You may get 1 or 2 chief or some chief of police or somebody who has a soft heart for what we doing. But understand, if we successful, you're gonna see less cars in your neighborhood. And don't nobody want that if they make money off crime.
Right. That's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
Amen.
So I seen it all kind of ways, man. I've been accused of everything under the sun. A big incident just happened today in LA. I'm out here with y'all. They'll blame me. They'll say I did something, but I mean, it's about the work. And I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm gonna still do the work.
Yes.
I'm gonna still go out and save lives. I'm gonna still go to the churches. And I know some of y'all are not gonna like this, but I'm gonna give it to you raw. Because I speak at churches.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna say this honestly. If the people heading the churches took this fight on, it would end immediately.
On my mama. Fake ass Christians. Fake ass Christians.
And I'm not talking about just churches, side guys, Muslims, and all that. Understand this. If you got a church with a membership of 1,500 people,
Yeah.
or like 300 people, and half of those are mothers and grandmothers, then where your son at?
Ooh.
You understand? And then together with us in the streets, how could he be doing what he doing? Because he got to come home at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Or he got to go to the cousin house. He got to go to the auntie house. But the church, look at the membership of the church. Our work would be easy.
Yeah. Ooh,
I mean, realistically.
peace.
But nobody makes money off peace. They make money off wars. Age-old cliche. We don't make guns. We don't bring drugs in our community. Heard it said 100,000 times. But still, we had the power together with all these churches that got 3,000 members to really go, whatever, it's a hot block. If it's a hot block, if the church goes stand on that block, is the block gonna still be hot 3 weeks? Ain't nobody finna be pulling no guns out on our grandmama and say, look, you can't stand on this block.
Right.
I mean, think about it. If you really, really think about it. Because I'm not going to disrespect your grandmother, and I hope you're not going to disrespect mine if I'm not there. And she want to stay on the block and tell you to move down. Realistic. I mean, but like I said, man, I mean, I could talk a lot, but I really want to just say thank you. Because y'all got me motivated, bro. Keep it 100. You know, I've been going through a lot. I've really been going through a lot these last 9 months. You know what I mean? Really the last 3 years since my nephew's son, my love Nip died. Been through a lot. And I seen the city change. We seen the growth of the most ignorant system ever when Nipsey died. The internet. This Clubhouse, this Facebook and all this, just a lot of stuff that we ain't supposed to be doing. We've seen a lot of that take off. And I had to learn how to deal with it and not deal with it. And I was listening to y'all talk about one incident with Facebook. In our organization, we have 4 schools. And in those schools, we deal with now, we have to have a whole nother task force that's just deal with the internet beefs and the internet gossip. Because one kid will say something about another kid's shoes and put a check mark on it, or however they diss each other, and that'll turn into something major. They come to school the next day, it's a fight, aunties, cousins, everybody meeting up there, that turns into something else. But it's just levels of understanding, and this box is so stupid. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, man, I gotta pray on it, because it's hard. It's hard. And all of the women in here, y'all got to answer. Y'all got to answer. Because when that baby get out of line, call one of them. Yeah. And you got to start calling them when they get out of line immediately. Yeah. And the network is like so. If he not banging his hood, he gonna try to bang his. And if they gonna be somewhere within that line. And that's how we do it. I got nephews that's living in Swan neighborhood. Now they want to claim Swan. I got nephews living in V&Gs. And I'm like, dang. Is that how you doing it? But you can't really take that approach. You got to reach out to the like-minded OG from over there and hope that he can reach your baby. You know what I mean? And it works. Yeah. It really, really works. Promise. And everything I hear y'all saying up here today is what we've been doing for years. And then next week, it'll be some more bullshit. But you can't quit though. You really can't quit. Because like I said again, I'm gonna keep saying it. We can never quantify our success. Right. We can't do it. We ain't gonna have it on a piece of paper. All the stuff we stop. You gotta just know that you're doing it. You know what I mean? Yes. So, with that said, I don't know if I got a couple of questions if somebody wanna ask some about my raggedy life. You know, like I said, man, I didn't do time. You know what I mean? I went in there and took my prison term as an education. I wrote books, I wrote movies. I came out with a script. I got a meeting next month with FX and Fox for a TV show I wrote 12 years ago. You know what I mean? I got 2 or 3 documentaries I'm doing. I'm doing it. I wake up in the morning trying to figure out what I'm gonna do next. I don't let nothing stop me. When something bad happens to me, I put it in my back pocket and I keep on going, and that's the motivation. You know what I mean? Yes, and write your stories. Because I ain't stopping. No matter what they say, bro, I'm gonna keep on doing positive. It ain't gonna take my life away and make me go do naked. Now, I was on some bullshit a couple weeks ago. But anyway, I'm back. Y'all my motivation, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Colorado.
My motivation. So look.
And you're ours, brother.
Huh?
You're ours.
Yeah, man. I hope to be. I try to be. I try to do all the things I can positive. I want to help y'all. I already talked to my people at Sprayground. We're gonna donate a lot of backpacks. Oh, that takes me to. I'm gonna donate a lot of backpacks. Let me finish that to help y'all do giveaways and all that. So I'm gonna adopt this and try to bring what we do here. As far as the football, I heard somebody say it's $800 to play football and equipment. Y'all don't even need that. Everybody in here can start their own football team. If the kids don't go get their own equipment, all you need to do is get the parks. I'll pay for the park and rec. I'll pay for that.
Okay.
And so whatever the permit costs, I'll pay for that. And all we need is the schools. On Saturdays, we get somewhere to practice, and then tell the kids to bring whatever they gotta bring, and that shouldn't be for nothing but to pay for whatever. My kids pay $200 to play football. $200. And that's it. And if they come with $200 and get their own equipment, that's all. I don't know where the other money would go. And if y'all start your own league, like I said, all you need is start with 11 kids. Place the 8-man, what is 8-man, right though? 8-man tackle.
Amen.
And then build it up. Do it with all your own kids. That $800 for football, that's crazy. That's LeBron James gonna pay that out there. We in the hood, we in Crenshaw. I'm serious though. They do pay that in LA though. They pay $1,500. Like the only people gonna pay that amount of money, honestly, is gonna be cheerleaders, because the cheerleaders have to fit their uniforms. That's the only way I can see what you would do with even $500 per kid.
That's a lot.
That's too much. I'm telling you how much I charge kids. And then half of them don't pay it anyway. You know what I mean? And I hit all the celebrities in the head when they come to the town. I got kids over here, so we're gonna start doing it here. We're gonna start doing it here. I don't know who wanna do it. I'll put y'all with my team manager. We'll give y'all the instruction. And really, to be honest with you, and everybody can practice at the same place. You get four age group, each kids, and then they start practicing playing football together. You don't go pay that $800, man. That's realistic. I take my kids from football, from Part 1 to football, baseball, basketball, all that. I take them all the way up through high school. I coach at the high school. Doe is one of the top winningest coaches in LA. And I take And I take them from there. I stay with them all the way through. And then from high school, I follow them through college. I just had 5 graduated from college last year, and I had 4 graduated last year, 5 graduated this year. And they all came up from the same group. I'm blessed to say that none of them is affiliated, but they all affiliated. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I say that to be honest with y'all, because where you grow up is where you're gonna be affiliated with. But now, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? What is your life gonna be? And that's what I challenge them to be. And man, like I say again, I'm so honored to be here and see that what I'm doing is having an effect on other people.
Yes, sir.
Y'all don't even know, man. You know what I mean? That just to see that with all the bull crap that's going on, that somebody see the work and recognize the work that I try to do every day.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And I'm just glad to be here.
Thanks, Roy.
Thank you for having me.
Big you. He said he coming back. Yeah, we got all these witnesses. Y'all give it up one more time for my man, Big you. I think we need to stand up and clap for this man. Is that cool?